Proverbs 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive instruction in wise behavior, righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel. To understand a proverb and an enigma, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of your father, and don't forsake the law of your mother, for they will be a graceful wreath to your head, and chains about your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, don't consent. If they say, "Come with us, let's lie in wait for blood. Let's ambush the innocent without cause. Let's swallow them alive like Sheol, and whole like those who go down to the pit. We will find all precious possessions. We will fill our houses with spoil. Throw in your lot with us. We will all have one purse. My son, don't walk in the way with them. Restrain your foot from their path. For their feet run to evil. They are swift to shed blood. For in vain is the net spread in the sight of any bird. But these men lie in wait for their own blood. They ambush their own lives. Such are the ways of everyone greedy for gain. It takes away the life of its owners. Wisdom calls aloud in the street. She lifts her voice in the open squares. She cries at the head of noisy places, at the entrance of the gates. In the city she speaks her words. How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? How long will scoffers delight in their scoffing, and fools hate knowledge? Turn at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit to you. I will make my words known to you. Because I called, and you refused, I stretched out my hand, and no one paid attention. And you have neglected all my counsel, and would have none of my reproof. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when terror comes. When terror comes like a storm, and your calamity comes like a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you. Then they will call on me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but they will not find me, because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh. They would have none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple will slay them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will dwell safely, and will be quiet from fear of evil. Proverbs 2, my son. If you receive my words and treasure my commandments within you, making your ear attentive to wisdom, and inclining your heart to understanding. Yes, if you cry after insight, and lift up your voice for understanding. If you seek her as silver, and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of Yahweh, and find the knowledge of God. For Yahweh gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk uprightly. He guards the paths of justice, and preserves the way of his saints. Then you will understand righteousness, justice, and equity, every good path. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will watch over you. Understanding will keep you, delivering you from the way of evil, from those who speak perverse things, from those who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil, and delight in the perverseness of evil, who are crooked in their ways and wayward in their paths. So you will be delivered from the loose woman, from the adulteress who flatters with her words, who forsakes the companion of her youth, and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house sinks down to death, and her paths to the departed. None who go to her return, neither do they reach the paths of life. Proverbs 3, my son, don't forget my law, but let your heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace they will add to you. Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. So you will find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Trust in Yahweh with all your heart, and don't lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Don't be wise in your own eyes. Fear Yahweh and turn away from evil. It will be health to your flesh and strength to your bones. Honor Yahweh with your substance and with the firstfruits of all your increase. So your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will overflow with new wine. My son, don't despise Yahweh's discipline, neither be weary of his reproof. For whom Yahweh loves, he reproves, even as a father corrects the son in whom he delights. Happy is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who gets understanding. For her profit is better than silver, and her gain than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies. And all the things you can desire are not to be compared to her. Length of days is in her right hand, in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her, and happy is everyone who retains her. Yahweh by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps were broken up, and the clouds dropped down the dew. My son, let them not depart from your eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, so they will be life to your soul and grace to your neck. Then you will walk in your way safely, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. Yes, you will lie down, and your sleep will be sweet. Don't be afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it comes. For Yahweh will be your confidence, and will keep your foot from being caught. Don't withhold good from those to whom it is due, when it is in the power of your hand to do it. Don't say to your neighbor, "Go, and come again, and tomorrow I will give it," when you have it with you. Don't devise evil against your neighbor, seeing he dwells securely by you. Don't strive with a man without cause, if he has done you no harm. Don't envy the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the perverse is an abomination to Yahweh, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of Yahweh is in the house of the wicked, but he blesses the habitation of the just. Surely he scorns the scorners, but gives grace to the lowly. The wise will inherit glory, but shame will be the promotion of fools. Proverbs 4. Hear, children, the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine, don't forsake my law. For I was my father's son, tender, and the only one in the sight of my mother. He taught me, and said to me, "Let your heart retain my words. Keep my commandments, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Don't forget, neither turn away from the words of my mouth. Don't forsake her, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will keep you. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom. Yes, with all your getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she will promote you. She will bring you to honor when you embrace her. She will give to your head a garland of grace. A crown of glory will she deliver to you. Hear, my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of your life will be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in right paths. When you walk, your steps will not be hampered, and if you run, you will not stumble. Take fast hold of instruction. Don't let her go. Keep her, for she is your life. Don't enter into the path of the wicked, and don't walk in the way of evil men. Avoid it, don't pass by it. Turn from it, and pass on. For they sleep not, except they have done evil, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is as the shining light that shines more and more to the perfect day. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They don't know what they stumble over. My son, attend to my words. Incline your ear to my sayings. Don't let them depart from your eyes. Keep them in the midst of your heart. for they are life to those who find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Put away from you a deceitful mouth, and put perverse lips far from you. Let your eyes look straight forward, and your eyelids look right before you. Ponder the path of your feet, and let all your ways be established. Don't turn to the right hand or to the left. Remove your foot from evil. Proverbs 5. My son, attend to my wisdom, and bow your ear to my understanding, that you may keep discretion, and that your lips may preserve knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end she is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on Sheol. Lest you ponder the path of life, her ways are unstable. You don't know them. Now therefore, my sons, listen to me, and don't depart from the words of my mouth. Remove your way far from her, and don't come near the door of her house, lest you give your honor to others, and your years to the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with your strength, and your labors go into the house of a foreigner. And at the end of your life you groan, when your flesh and body are consumed, and say, How I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof. I have not listened to the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to my instructors. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the assembly and congregation. Drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. Should your springs be dispersed abroad, streams of water in the streets? Let them be yours alone, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breasts satisfy you at all times, and be intoxicated always with her love. For why should you, my son, be intoxicated with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a foreigner? For the ways of man are before the eyes of Yahweh, and he ponders all his paths. His own iniquities will take the wicked himself, and he will be held with the cords of his sin. He will die for lack of instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he will go astray. Proverbs 6. My son, if you become surety for your neighbor, if you have struck your hand with a stranger, you are snared with the words of your mouth. You are taken with the words of your mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver yourself. For you have come into the hand of your neighbor. Go, humble yourself, and plead with your neighbor. Don't give sleep to your eyes, or slumber to your eyelids. Deliver yourself as a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider her ways, and be wise, which having no chief, overseer, or ruler, prepares her food in the summer, and gathers her provision in the harvest. How long will you sleep, O sluggard? When will you arise out of your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. So will your poverty come as a robber, and your want as an armed man. The wicked, the sinner, and the scoffer are hateful to Yahweh, and his soul hates the proud. He will not save the one who is always wicked, but will help the righteous. These 6 things Yahweh hates, yes, 7 are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift in running to evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among brothers. My son, keep your father's commandment, and don't forsake the law of your mother. Bind them continually upon your heart, tie them about your neck. When you walk, they will lead you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. And when you awake, they will talk with you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light. Reproofs of instruction are the way of life. My son, if you have been found worthless in your neighbor's eyes, put your hand to pledge, and be surety for a stranger. You have been trapped with the words of your mouth. You have been caught with the words of your mouth. Proverbs 7. My son, keep my words, and lay up my commandments with you. Keep my commandments and live, and my teaching is the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers. Write them on the table of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your intimate friend, that they may keep you from the strange woman, from the foreigner who flatters with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my lattice. I saw among the simple, I perceived among the youths, a young man lacking sense, passing along the street near her corner. And he went the way to her house, in the twilight, in the evening, in the night and darkness. And behold, there a woman came to meet him, dressed as a harlot, subtle of heart. She is loud and defiant. Her feet stay not at home. Now in the street, now in the squares, and lying in wait at every corner. She caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face she said to him, sacrifices of peace offerings have been with me. Today I have paid my vows. Therefore I came out to meet you, diligently seeking your face, and I have found you. I have spread my couch with coverings, colored linens from Egyptian linens. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us delight ourselves with love. For my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. He has taken a bag of money with him. He will come home at the full moon. With her many persuasions she entices him. With her flattering lips she seduces him. He follows her straightway, as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks, till an arrow strikes through his liver. As a bird hastens to the snare, he knows not that it will cost his life. Proverbs 8. Doesn't wisdom call, and understanding lift up her voice? She takes her stand on the top of high places, beside the way where the paths meet. She cries at the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors. To you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. O you simple, understand prudence, and you fools, be of an understanding heart. Hear, for I will speak excellent things, and the opening of my lips will be right things. For my mouth will speak truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing crooked or perverse in them. They are all plain to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things one may desire cannot be compared to her. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge of witty inventions. The fear of Yahweh is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the perverse mouth I hate. Counsel and sound wisdom are mine. I am understanding. I have strength. By me kings reign, and rulers decree justice. By me princes rule, and nobles, all the judges of the earth. I love those who love me, and those who seek me will find me. Riches and honor are with me, enduring riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yes, than fine gold, and my yield than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, in the midst of the paths of justice, that I may cause those who love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures. Proverbs 9. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out her 7 pillars. She has killed her beasts. She has mixed her wine. She has also furnished her table. She has sent out her maidens. She cries upon the highest places of the city. Whoever is simple, let him turn in here. To him who lacks understanding, she says, Come, eat of my bread, and drink of the wine I have mixed. Forsake the foolish, and live, and go in the way of understanding. He who corrects a scorner gets dishonor to himself, and he who rebukes a wicked man gets himself a blot. Don't reprove a scorner, lest he hate you. Reprove a wise man, and he will love you. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be still wiser. Teach a righteous man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me your days will be multiplied, and years of life will be added to you. If you are wise for yourself. And if you scoff, you alone will bear it. Proverbs 10. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish son is the grief of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivers from death. Yahweh will not allow the righteous soul to hunger, but he casts away the desire of the wicked. He who gathers in summer is a wise son, but he who sleeps in harvest is a son who causes shame. Blessings are upon the head of the righteous, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked rots. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a prating fool will fall. He who walks uprightly walks securely, but he who perverts his ways will be found out. He who winks with his eye causes sorrow, but a prating fool will fall. The mouth of the righteous is a well of life, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all sins. On the lips of him who has understanding wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him who lacks sense. Wise people store up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near ruin. The rich man is wise in his own eyes, but the poor who has understanding sees through him. The labor of the righteous leads to life, but the gain of the wicked leads to sin. The wages of the righteous is life, but the income of the wicked is sin and shame. The way of Yahweh is strength to the upright, but destruction to evildoers. The righteous shall never be moved, but the wicked shall not dwell in the earth. Proverbs 11. A false balance is abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. Where there is righteousness, there is life. But the gain of the wicked is sin. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the perverseness of the treacherous destroys them. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the perfect will direct his way, but the wicked will fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but transgressors are caught in their own evil. When a wicked man dies, his expectation will perish, and the hope of the unjust perishes. The righteous is delivered from trouble, and the wicked comes in his place. With his mouth the godless man destroys his neighbor, but by knowledge the righteous are delivered. In the prosperity of the righteous is much glory, but in the gain of the wicked is trouble. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but the treacherous shall be taken in their own devices. The hypocrite with his mouth destroys his neighbor, but through knowledge the righteous are delivered. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked comes in his place. The rich is wise in his own eyes, but the poor who has understanding sees through him. By humility and the fear of Yahweh are riches, honor, and life. A righteous man regards the life of his animal, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. He who is steadfast in righteousness will live, but he who pursues evil will die. The wicked earns deceitful wages, but he who sows righteousness reaps a true reward. He who is gracious to the poor lends to Yahweh, and he will repay him for his good deed. The perverse of heart will be hated, but the upright will dwell with good. The righteous shall be remembered forever, but the name of the wicked will rot. The righteous shall never be moved, but the wicked shall not dwell in the earth. Proverbs 12. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but he who hates reproof is stupid. A good man will obtain favor from Yahweh, but a man of wicked devices he will condemn. No one shall be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsel of the wicked is deceit. The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright delivers them. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A man of wicked devices is snared by his own sin, but the righteous sings and rejoices. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the perverseness of the treacherous destroys them. The wicked is ensnared by the transgression of his lips, but the righteous escapes trouble. The soul of the righteous studies to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the righteous escapes. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. The thoughts of the righteous are just, but the counsel of the wicked is deceitful. There is hope for the righteous, but the expectation of the wicked will perish. A righteous shall never be moved, but the wicked shall not dwell in the earth. Proverbs 13. A wise son heeds his father's instruction, but a scoffer does not listen to rebuke. From the fruit of his mouth a man eats good, but the soul of the treacherous consumes violence. He who guards his mouth preserves his soul, but he who opens wide his lips shall have destruction. The soul of the wise teaches his mouth, and adds learning to his lips. A righteous man hates lying, but a wicked man brings shame and disgrace. Righteousness guards the man of integrity, but wickedness destroys the sinner. There is one who pretends to be rich, yet has nothing, and one who pretends to be poor, yet has great riches. The ransom of a man's life is his riches, but the poor hears no rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. By the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked it is destroyed. He who despises his neighbor sins, but he who has mercy on the poor, happy is he. A righteous man shall be satisfied from his own desires, but the belly of the wicked shall want. He who despises instruction will pay for it, but he who respects reproof is honored. The teaching of the wise is a fountain of life, that one may depart from the snares of death. Good understanding gains favor, but the way of the treacherous is hard. Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool exposes his folly. A wicked man desires the net of evil, but the root of the righteous bears fruit. He who ignores discipline despises himself, but he who heeds correction acquires understanding. A righteous man is careful of his speech, but the mouth of the wicked reveals deceit. Proverbs 14. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish tears it down with her own hands. He who walks in his uprightness fears Yahweh, but he who is perverse in his ways despises him. In the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. Where there are no oxen, the crib is clean, but much increase comes by the strength of the ox. A faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness breathes out lies. A scoffer seeks wisdom, and finds it not. But knowledge is easy to him who has understanding. Go from the presence of a foolish man, when you perceive not in him the lips of knowledge. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Fools mock at sin, but among the upright there is favor. The heart knows its own bitterness, and no stranger shares its joy. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tent of the upright shall flourish. There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. Even in laughter the heart may ache, and the end of joy may be grief. The backslider in heart shall be filled with his own ways, but a good man shall be satisfied from himself. The simple believes every word, but the prudent considers his steps. A wise man fears and departs from evil, but a fool is arrogant and careless. He who is hard-hearted will fall into mischief, but the upright shall obtain good. Poverty and shame shall be to him who refuses instruction, but he who regards reproof shall be honored. A dishonest witness will perish, but a man who listens speaks wisely. Proverbs 15. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools pours out folly. The eyes of Yahweh are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and the good. A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit. The fool despises his father's instruction, but he who regards reproof is prudent. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the income of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish does not so. The fear of Yahweh is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor goes humility. The heart of the righteous studies to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for lack of understanding. The blessing of Yahweh makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. The path of the wicked is an abomination to Yahweh, but he loves him who follows righteousness. The prudent sees the evil and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. The heart knows its own bitterness, and a stranger does not share its joy. The eyes of Yahweh are toward the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of Yahweh is against those who do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools pours out folly. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for lack of understanding. The way of the wicked is an abomination to Yahweh, but he loves him who follows righteousness. Proverbs 16. The preparations of the heart belong to man, but the answer of the tongue is from Yahweh. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but Yahweh's the Spirit's. Commit your works to Yahweh, and your thoughts will be established. Yahweh has made everything for its own purpose, even the wicked for the day of evil. Everyone is proud in his own heart, but the one who is of an understanding spirit will find wisdom. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. When a man's ways please Yahweh, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. Better is a little with righteousness than great income without justice. A man's heart plans his way, but Yahweh directs his steps. It is an abomination for kings to commit wickedness, for a throne is established by righteousness. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and he who speaks right is loved. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for a throne is established by righteousness. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and he who speaks right is loved. A just weight and balance belong to Yahweh. All the weights in the bag are his work. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for a throne is established by righteousness. Better is a little with righteousness than great income without justice. The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing of it is of Yahweh. Pride and arrogance and the evil way, and the perverse mouth, Yahweh hates. It is better to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. He who gives attention to the word will find good, and whoever trusts Yahweh is blessed. A man's heart plans his way, but Yahweh directs his steps. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but Yahweh weighs the hearts. Proverbs 17. Better is a dry morsel with quietness than a house full of feasting with strife. A servant who deals wisely will rule over a son who acts shamefully, and will share the inheritance among brothers. The refining pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but a man is tested by his praise. The wicked utters a snare, but the mouth of the upright delivers them. A fool is glad with transgression, but a man of understanding will go straight. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children is their father. Excellent speech is not becoming to a fool, how much less lying lips to a prince. A present is a precious stone in the eyes of him who has it. Wherever he turns, he prospers. He who covers an offense seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates friends. A reproof enters deeper into a wise man than 100 blows into a fool. An evil man seeks only rebellion, and a cruel messenger will be sent against him. Let a bear robbed of her cubs meet a man, rather than a fool in his folly. The foolishness of man subverts his way, and his heart rages against Yahweh. The heart of the prudent gets knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. All the days of the oppressed are evil, but the cheerful heart has a continual feast. Better is a little with the fear of Yahweh than great treasure and turmoil with it. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is, than a stalled ox and hatred with it. A man who is wrathful stirs up strife, and a furious man abounds in transgression. A hot-tempered man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger calms contention. A wise servant will have rule over a son who causes shame, and will share the inheritance as one of the brothers. Proverbs 18. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calls for blows. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters, but the fountain of wisdom is a flowing brook. The eyes of Yahweh are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and the good. A man's gift makes room for him, and brings him before great men. The counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding draws it out. A fool's lips bring strife, and his mouth calls for blows. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters, but the fountain of wisdom is a flowing brook. The heart of the prudent gets knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. A man's gift makes room for him, and brings him before great men. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and the destruction of the poor is their poverty. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters, but the fountain of wisdom is a flowing brook. The prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaims foolishness. The name of Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and are safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and the destruction of the poor is their poverty. The poor is hated even by his neighbor, but the rich has many friends. A man who isolates himself seeks his own desire, and he rages against all sound judgment. The soul of a lazy man desires, and has nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made rich. The poor is hated even by his neighbor, but the rich has many friends. Proverbs 19. Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than one who is perverse in his lips and is a fool. Desire without knowledge is not good, and he who hurries with his feet sins. The foolishness of man perverts his way, and his heart rages against Yahweh. Wealth brings many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who utters lies will perish. Many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him who gives gifts. All the brethren of the poor hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursues them with words, yet they abandon him. He who gets wisdom loves his own soul. He who keeps understanding will find good. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who utters lies will perish. A man who refuses discipline despises his own soul, but he who listens to correction gets understanding. The desire of the diligent shall be fully satisfied, but the expectation of the hasty shall perish. The prudent sees the evil and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. A lazy man hides his hand in the dish, and will not so much as bring it to his mouth again. He who oppresses the poor reproaches his maker, but he who honors him shows mercy to the poor. The thoughtless man causes trouble, but the prudent man delivers from it. Whoever keeps instruction is in the way of life, but he who refuses reproof goes astray. He who hides hatred has lying lips, and whoever spreads slander is a fool. Many seek the ruler's favor, but justice comes from Yahweh alone. A man's steps are established by Yahweh, and he delights in his way. Proverbs 20. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whoever is deceived by it is not wise. The terror of a king is as the roaring of a lion. He who provokes him sins against his own soul. It is honorable for a man to stop striving, but every fool will quarrel. The sluggard does not plow by reason of winter. Therefore he shall beg in harvest, and have nothing. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding draws it out. Most men will proclaim every one his own goodness, but who can find a faithful man? The righteous who walks in his integrity blessed are his children after him. A king who sits on the throne of judgment winnows out all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have made my heart clean, I am pure from my sin? Divers weights and divers measures, both are alike an abomination to Yahweh. Even a child is known by his doings, whether his work is pure, and whether it is right. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, Yahweh has made even both of them. Love not sleep, lest you come to poverty. Open your eyes, and you will be satisfied with bread. It is a snare to the man who devours that which is holy, and after vows to make inquiry. Slothfulness casts into a deep sleep, and the idle soul shall suffer hunger. The soul of the diligent shall be made rich, but the desire of the hasty shall come to poverty. A false witness shall not go unpunished, and he who speaks lies shall perish. Plans are established by counsel, and with wise guidance make war. It is as sport to a fool to do wickedness, but a man of understanding has wisdom. Proverbs 21. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, like the rivers of water. He turns it wherever he wishes. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but Yahweh weighs the hearts. To do righteousness and justice is more acceptable to Yahweh than sacrifice. The haughty eyes and the proud heart, even the lamp of the wicked, are sin. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes surely to poverty. The getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a fleeting vapor, and a snare of death. The violence of the wicked will sweep them away, because they refuse to do justice. The way of the guilty is devious, but the conduct of the pure is straight. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. The soul of the wicked desires evil. His neighbor finds no favor in his eyes. When the scoffer is punished, the simple is made wise. And when the wise is instructed, he receives knowledge. The righteous one considers the house of the poor, but the wicked disregards it. Whoever shuts his ear to the cry of the poor will also cry himself, and not be heard. A gift in secret pacifies anger, and a bribe in the bosom strong wrath. It is joy to the righteous to do justice, but destruction shall be for the workers of iniquity. A man who wanders out of the way of understanding will rest in the assembly of the dead. He who loves pleasure will be a poor man. He who loves wine and oil will not be rich. The wicked is taken in his own transgression, but the righteous sings and is glad. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against Yahweh. Proverbs 22. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, and favor is better than silver and gold. The rich and the poor meet together. Yahweh is the maker of them all. The prudent sees the evil and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. By humility and the fear of Yahweh are riches, honor, and life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the perverse. He who guards his soul shall be far from them. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. He who sows iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. He who has a generous eye will be blessed, for he gives of his bread to the poor. Drive out the scoffer, and contention shall go out. Yes, strife and reproach shall cease. He who loves pureness of heart, and has grace on his lips, the king will be his friend. The eyes of Yahweh keep watch over knowledge, but he overthrows the words of the faithless. The lazy man says, "There is a lion outside. I shall be slain in the streets." The mouth of strange women is a deep pit. He who is abhorred by Yahweh will fall into it. Folly is joy to him who is destitute, but a man of understanding walks straight. He who oppresses the poor to increase his riches, and he who gives to the rich will surely come to want. Incline your ear, and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart to my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if you keep them within you, that they may be ready on your lips. so that your trust may be in Yahweh. I have taught you knowledge and understanding. Do not remove the ancient landmark which your fathers have set. When you sit to eat with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are given to appetite. Do not desire his delicacies, for it is deceitful food. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Have the wisdom to desist. As riches increase, do not set your heart on them. When you make a vow to Yahweh, don't delay to pay it, for he has no pleasure in fools. Pay what you vow. Better is it that you should not vow than that you should vow and not pay. Do not rob the poor, because he is poor. Neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. For Yahweh will plead their cause and spoil the soul of those who spoil them. Proverbs 27. Don't boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth. Let another man praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips. A stone is heavy, and sand is weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel, and anger is outrageous, but who can stand before envy? Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. The full soul loathes an honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. As a bird that wanders from her nest, so is a man who wanders from his place. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, and the sweetness of a man's friend is from his counsel. Don't forsake your friend, nor your father's friend. And don't go to your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. Be wise, my son, and make my heart glad, that I may answer him who reproaches me. The prudent sees the evil and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. A faithful man will abound with blessings, but he who hurries to be rich will not go unpunished. The soul of a man is the lamp of Yahweh, searching all the inward parts of the belly. The spirit of a man will sustain him in sickness, but who can bear a broken spirit? As iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. He who keeps the fig tree shall eat the fruit of it, and he who regards his master shall be honored. Like a bird that wanders from her nest, so is a man who wanders from his place. The glory of young men is their strength, and the beauty of old men is gray hair. Blood is better than gold, and the day of death than the day of birth. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. Better is the patient in spirit than the proud in spirit. Proverbs 28. The wicked flee when no man pursues, but the righteous are bold as a lion. When a land transgresses, it has many rulers, but by a man of understanding and knowledge, its stability is prolonged. A poor man who oppresses the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaves no food. He who forsakes the law praises the wicked, but he who keeps the law contends with him. Evil men do not understand justice, but they who seek Yahweh understand all things. Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than he who is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. He who keeps the law is a wise son, but he who is a companion of gluttons shames his father. He who increases his riches by interest and usury gathers it for him who has pity on the poor. He who turns away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is abomination. He who causes the upright to go astray in an evil way shall fall into his own pit, but the righteous shall inherit good. The rich man is wise in his own eyes, but the poor who has understanding sees through him. When righteous men rejoice, there is great glory. But when the wicked rise, men hide themselves. He who troubles his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. He who walks uprightly shall be delivered, but he who is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. He who treads the law is a wise son, but he who is a companion of gluttons shames his father. He who oppresses the poor to increase his riches, and he who gives to the rich shall surely come to want. He who keeps the law is a wise son, but he who is a companion of gluttons shames his father. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. He who walks in integrity will be delivered, but he who is perverse in his ways shall fall at once. Proverbs 29. He who is often reproved, yet hardens his neck, will suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous increase, the people rejoice, but when a wicked man rules, the people sigh. He who loves wisdom makes his father glad, but he who keeps company with harlots wastes his wealth. The king who faithfully judges the poor, his throne shall be established forever. A man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his steps. By transgression an evil man is ensnared, but the righteous sings and is glad. The righteous know the cause of the poor, but the wicked regard not knowledge. Scornful men stir up a city, but wise men turn away wrath. If a wise man contends with a fool, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. A fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back. If a ruler listens to lies, all his servants are wicked. The poor man and the oppressor meet together. Yahweh gives light to the eyes of both. The king who faithfully judges the poor, his throne shall be established forever. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to his mother. When the wicked are increased, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. Correct your son, and he will give you rest. Yes, he will give delight to your soul. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he who keeps the law, happy is he. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, he will not answer. Do you see a man who is hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Proverbs 30. The words of Agur son of Jakeh, the oracle. Surely I am more brutish than any man, and I do not have the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom, nor do I have the knowledge of the Holy One. Who has ascended up to heaven and descended? Who has gathered the wind in his fists? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if you know? Every word of God is pure. He is a shield to those who put their trust in him. Add not to his words, lest he reprove you, and you be found a liar. 2 things I asked of you. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full, and deny you, and say, Who is Yahweh? Or lest I be poor, and steal, and profane the name of my God. Accursed be the man who trusts in man, and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from Yahweh. Blessed is the man who trusts in Yahweh, and whose hope Yahweh is. Every living thing is a lottery of life, and the battle is with the mighty. Surely there is a generation that curses their father, and does not bless their mother. There is a generation that is pure in their own eyes, yet is not washed from their filth. There is a generation how lofty are their eyes. Their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their fangs as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. The leech has 2 daughters, crying, Give, give. There are 3 things that are never satisfied. Yes, 4 that never say, Enough. Sheol, the barren womb, the earth which is not satisfied with water, and the fire that never says, Enough. The eye that mocks a father, and despises obedience to a mother, the ravens of the valley pick it out, and the young eagles eat it. There are 3 things which are too wonderful for me, yes, 4 which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent on a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maiden. So is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth, and says, I have done no wickedness. 3 things in the earth are small, but they are exceedingly wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their food in the summer. The conies are a feeble folk, yet make their houses in the rocks. The locusts have no king, yet they all go forth by bands. The spider takes hold with her hands, and is in kings' palaces. There are 3 things which are stately in their stride, yes, 4 which are stately in going. The lion, which is mightiest among beasts, and turns not from any. The greyhound, the male goat also, and a king whose army is with him. If you have done foolishly in lifting yourself up, or if you have thought evil, put your hand upon your mouth. Surely the churning of milk brings butter, and wringing the nose brings blood. So the forcing of wrath brings strife. Proverbs 31. The words of King Lemuel, the oracle which his mother taught him. What, my son? And what, son of my womb? And what, son of my vows? Give not your strength to women, nor your ways to that which destroys kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes to say, Where is strong drink? Lest they drink and forget the law, and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink to him who is ready to perish, and wine to those who are bitter of heart. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open your mouth for the dumb in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he shall have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax, and works willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She brings her food from afar. She rises also while it is yet night, and gives food to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considers a field, and buys it. With the fruit of her hands she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength, and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good. Her candle does not go out by night. She lays her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She stretches out her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. She fears not the snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and delivers girdles to the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. She watches over the ways of her household, and eats not the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her, saying, Many daughters have done virtuously, but you excel them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman who fears Yahweh, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates.